KYNT, Yankton.
Good morning. You are listening to the Coach's Corner on KYNT. Let's go to the voice of the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
Hey, good morning, live from 1019 Broadway Avenue here in beautiful Yankton. This is the Coach's Corner. I am Bryce Ladwig. Thank you for joining me this morning. The smell of Pizza Ranch pizza fills the air, or at least in the studio, because there's pizza in here, so that'd probably do it. Hey, delicious smelling nonetheless. Hey, big show planned today. Was able to catch up with all of our varsity head coaches for Yankton Gazelles and Bucks basketball, Yankton wrestling, and of course Yankton Gazelles gymnastics. Caught up with Coach Riley Smith on Thursday, as well as Coach Justin Olson. I have my post-game interview for Coach Chris Haynes and the Yankton Bucks from last night. And then this morning I talked to Coach Trey Creer of the Yankton Gazelles. Yankton Gazelles coming off their first victory of the season last night at Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Did it in pretty dramatic fashion, double overtime. So congratulations to them. Yankton Bucks defeating Sioux Falls Roosevelt at home last night at the Summit Activities Center to improve to 5-2 on the season. And Yankton wrestling back at it here soon, as well as Yankton Gazelles gymnastics hosting their final home competition on Monday. So a lot to talk about with these coaches. I also have the YHS Nation show. Braden Butler, our very own, does that for us, and I have that to play for you. We'll find out who he caught up with out of all of Yankton high school activities. That's all around the corner here on the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
When I'm searching for adventure, I find it on the range. Archery challenges me to be curious, see opportunity, and welcome big challenges. It teaches me to focus and never quit until the last arrow hits. Archery allows me to show my spirit at Mount Marty University. How do you show your adventurous side? Schedule your campus visit to Mount Marty University at showyourspiritmmu.com.
It's time for a new kind of credit card, one that's with you where you are, wherever life leads. The Evergreen Credit Card by F&BO earns you unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase, every day, every step of the way. For important information and limitations regarding the rewards program, visit fnbo.com/evergreen for complete details. From the great big small bank, ever ready for you to earn more so you can do more. Only with Evergreen by FNBO. Learn more today at fnbo.com/evergreen.
Do you go through every day dealing with pain? Does chronic or acute pain affect the decisions you make and the quality of your life? It doesn't have to. It's time to visit the experts. Whether you're suffering from neck and back pain, work-related injuries, headaches, fibromyalgia, joint pain, or any other type of debilitating discomfort, Avera Medical Group Pain Management Clinic Yankton can offer you relief. They listen, they care, and they can help. That's Avera Medical Group Pain Management Clinic Yankton at 605-655-1220. Live better, live balanced. Avera.
Are you looking for a new opportunity? Check out Truxedo in Yankton, South Dakota. Truxedo has an opening in their safety department. We're looking for a motivated and positive candidate to join our team and fill the role of a senior EH&S specialist. This role will recommend changes to protect workers and educate employees using safety training programs and tools to prevent accidents. This is an opportunity you won't want to miss. Visit truxedo.com/careers to learn more about this position and to apply.
Rodents want to make your home their home. Pesky invaders go in search of warm housing and food for the winter. An invasion of rodents can be costly and can contribute to disease and contamination of products. So trust the experts to keep them out. Olson Pest Technicians is family-owned with over 80 years of experience. Even the toughest infestations don't stand a chance. Olson Pest Technicians, putting pests to rest since 1966. Call 800-KIL-BUGS.
All right, so Yankton Wrestling, they were the latest victim in our Blizzard Fiesta last couple months here in southeastern South Dakota. They are triangular. Yankton Wrestling versus Huron and Pierre at Yankton High School was postponed, and there is a unique way they're going to make those up. We'll hear from Coach Riley Smith on how they plan on making those up. But spoiler, they do lose a home competition, which is a big deal, but it's unfortunate. But he does a good job of make sure he says that, Ryan Moore's Yankton High School Activities Director and all administration does a nice job of rescheduling these events, doing the best they can. I can only imagine the calendar for, postponements and rescheduled events for this season has a lot more marks and X's through it, and there's a lot more markings on that entire calendar than any years past. This has been quite a show for Blizzards. And the latest one, as I like to say, Blizzard Bob came through, and not blizzard, but just heavy snowfall. It's a very heavy winter indeed. But like I said, I was able to catch up with Coach Riley Smith of Yankton Wrestling on Thursday, and we'll go ahead and play that interview. All right, now we turn our attention to Yankton Wrestling, being joined by Coach Riley Smith on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Coach Smith, weather again. So as this is playing Saturday morning, your dual or invite, your triangular, there's so many different options. Your triangular on Thursday was again postponed due to the 12th blizzard of the year, I'm pretty sure at this point. And
I've lost count,
yeah, I know. I was talking to Coach Justin Olson of gymnastics, and we were saying that we need to start naming them like they do hurricanes. And
that'd be good.
Yeah, Blizzard Bob took down another wrestling event, and we'll talk about those. Actually, I'll go ahead and open up the floor to you. You're supposed to be hosting a couple teams at Yankton, so why don't you talk about that and then what the new plan is?
Yeah, so we're supposed to have Pierre and Huron at home, and and again, Blizzard Bob wreaks havoc.
Blizzard Bob.
And so it's tough, you prep for it, you're getting ready for it, and then all of a sudden, you have to readjust your plans. And I get it. That's part of, you got to be able to adapt and things, but it does make it difficult, especially now, with what we have to look for. So, now looking forward, as far as like what we're going to have to do, it gets tricky with wrestling because, you're only allowed so many weigh-ins a year. We get 15 weigh-ins before we get to postseason. And right now, Huron's looking at, having too many weigh-ins. And so it's going to be interesting. So we're actually going to be traveling January 26th to go to Pierre to jump in Pierre and Brandon Valley's duel. And all we're going to do is wrestle against Pierre, and then we'll come home. And then February 2nd will be similar, except instead of going to Huron, we have to go to Watertown where they're dueling Watertown. That night, we'll wrestle Huron first, and then we'll head back. So then that way we can, complete our ESD duels for the year.
So basically you're making a couple duels into a triangular because that would happen anyway, kind of, right? So
Yep, yeah, because in previous years, we had just a duel against Huron and a duel against Pierre, but this year we tried doing a triangular. So really, it's not any different than any other year when we wrestle these teams, except for location. And unfortunately, we do lose a home event this year.
Yeah, and that one that's tough to take. But something that interested me, and many probably don't know, and I don't even really know. When you say you're only allowed so many weigh-ins, is that just for the health of the athletes, or what is that? What's that about?
It's to protect the athlete, because if you look at some schedules, you might have to weigh in, 2-3 times a week. So wrestlers are, with their weigh-ins and stuff. Not that we want, we're trying to get away from, the unhealthy weight loss of wrestling. It's still a really bad stigma that we have. We want to be healthy, but even still, when you're trying to maintain your weight, over a course of, so many weigh-ins and stuff, it'll take a toll on you. And so it's that. And then also we we're trying to watch how many matches some wrestlers get. Cause when you get to state, and you have 40 plus matches, that alone can take a toll on a person's body. So there's a few things that go into it. Some people might see it as an unfair advantage. I mean, there's just different things. So yeah, there's a big part of it is with the safety and health of the wrestler.
You kind of already alluded to it earlier when we were talking about the new events and just kind of how you're going to adapt. But we were talking about how many blizzards there's been, and I know that the good news is I say in quotation marks, the good news is that basically the entire state goes through this at the same time. But all these postponements and cancellations, pausing, this starting and stopping really has to take a toll on just kind of the practice flow, right? Like what you have planned for the team.
Oh, definitely. Because again, depending on a team's schedule, you only get so many practices, and then like right now in January, we have all these different like we'll have some during the week, and then then we have a Saturday, and so you try and coordinate the best you can between the events that you have. And so when you prep like that, and then all of a sudden you have we didn't have practice on Wednesday, and then even though we didn't wrestle on Thursday, we still couldn't practice. And so, I mean, it just really stops the flow, because then, with going into the different events and not having an opportunity to talk about and prep for the next event, even, it just really disrupts it. And it really makes the season a lot more difficult than it needs to be. But again, when you live in, South Dakota, it's bound to happen. It just, unfortunately, it's happened more than it should this year.
It's that Blizzard Bob, Coach. I'm telling you.
I know, Blizzard Bob.
Blizzard
Bob. Again.
Let's print the T-shirts. All right, we'll make it happen.
Yes.
Well, Coach, good luck in making those up, obviously, and also condolences to losing a home event. I know those are big. There's not basketball where you get a certain amount every year. I mean, or a lot, I should say. You only get so many, so that really is a tough one to take. But at least you are going to be able to make up these somewhere on the schedule.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. It's definitely changed throughout the past few years as far as how many home events we get. I will say though, I think that next year that means we should gain one back. I think hopefully, I think they were saying that we'd still get one back because of this. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good to get it made up before state, because it's nice to see some of these teams, especially for seeding reasons, prior to getting to the state tournament.
Well, Coach, always appreciate the time. We'll catch up next week, and try to stay warm, right?
Yeah, thanks. You too.
Let's Coach Riley Smith, Yankton Wrestling. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner. We're not going anywhere. Yankton Wrestling is at the Chamberlain Armory today for the River City Rumble, and that begins in about 40 minutes. So good luck to Yankton Wrestling on their competition again today at the Chamberlain Armory at the River City Rumble. We'll take a break, come back, and let's talk a little Yankton Gazelles gymnastics, and then we'll go into Gazelles basketball, Bucks basketball, and then YHS Nation all around the corner here on KYNT.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please go forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are, so they can help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411 today to learn more.
As a proud community bank, Core Trust delivers more than just checking and savings accounts. We invest in the cities and towns where we live and work by volunteering to coach youth sports teams, supporting local charities and the arts with our time and resources. Whether we live in a rural town in South Dakota or a suburban city in Minnesota, it's a place we call home. Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations.
Member FDIC.
Do you have dry, sore, or irritated eyes? If so, you may have dry eye. At Vision Care Associates, we offer a simple, fast, and non-surgical procedure to treat black glands in your eyelids that can help your eyes to feel comfortable again. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Fieser to find out about dry eye treatment with our newest technology.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT&RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com. And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Thanks to Coach Riley Smith joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Let's turn our attention to Yankton Gazelles Gymnastics. They didn't have any event postponed or canceled due to the latest snow, but they do have a big event coming up at the River City Gymnastics Cheer Center there at the mall at the old JCPenney building. O'Gorman coming to town. But don't take my word for it. Let's talk to Coach Justin Olson. Caught up with him on Thursday evening. All right, let's turn our attention to Yankton Gazelles Gymnastics. Coach Justin Olson joined us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Coach, for once, Blizzard Bob did not affect gymnastics, but it did affect practice on Thursday. And overall, are you as sick of winter as I am?
You know what? I was never a big fan of snow. You know, I've always lived up here in the Midwest and, you know, between North Dakota and South Dakota and, you know, whatnot. And I mean, it's pretty. I like it, but it does have an impact on things when it becomes a nuisance when you're trying to get things done, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, I'm ready for some sun and some fun in the sun, but, you know, it looks like it's going to be around here for a while, so you got to do what you got to do.
Yankton Gazelle Gymnastics went to Vermilion on Tuesday, take on the Tanagers. Yankton came out with that victory, a 131.3 score. And then, of course, high score for Yankton all around, I believe, was Allie Birkland, 33.05. Coach, why don't you talk about the meet, your team as a whole, and her performance?
Yeah, so Allie, you know, stepped up. You know, it was one of those things where, you know, she was banged up the meet before, and we had a talk. Said, listen, I'll limit you. This meet, I'll limit you and practice a little bit, and we'll get healthy, and then we'll come out firing on all cylinders, hopefully. And you know, that's what she did. And of course, you know, things didn't go perfectly for her or the rest of the team, but you know what? We did enough to stay above, you know, that 130 mark, and it was good. And to top it off, our JV team scored the highest that they did all year. So things are coming together.
Always love to see that. It's just nice to get a victory as a team as well. Coach, you have O'Gorman coming to River City Gymnastics and Cheer Center on Monday. That'll be the final home competition against, of course, Yankton's rival O'Gorman. So a lot just on the line there and a lot of things to talk about. And I was going to open up the floor to you. What does it mean to have O'Gorman come down for the final home competition of the year?
Well, you know, they've always been traditionally strong in gymnastics, you know, and you know, just as the same as, you know, Yankton has. You know, they're coming off a state title, and you know, it looks like they're not skipping a beat. You know, so you have some of those top tier teams up there with O'Gorman and Mitchell, and you know, Harrisburg will push them a little bit, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I know a lot of the girls. It's gonna be a great. It's going to be a great environment in the gymnastics center here in Yankton. And I tell you what, if you want to watch some really good gymnastics, you need to come Monday, 5:30, River City Gymnastics Center, and witness the O'Gorman-Yankton duel, because not only are they a pretty good team, I feel we have a pretty good team as well. And when you kind of get in that competition mode, especially in gymnastics, you kind of feed off each other. And so hopefully it's going to be loud, exciting as routines hit and skills hit. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, having them come to town and show off our gym a little bit. But more importantly, it gives us another chance to compete and march towards our February goal of making the state meet and getting up on that podium, Bryce.
And Coach, hopefully it's only like maybe one more year where we have to keep doing this, but sometimes people are just slow to change. You know, things are new to some people that maybe everyone else has known for years. But if someone wants to go to this competition, How do they get there? Where's it located? You know the spiel. We've done it for years now.
Absolutely. Yep. So do not go to high school. You will not find us at Yankton High School. However, the old JCPenney building located at the mall, the Yankton Mall, you go around the back side there, the west side. You can park in the parking lot, the auxiliary parking lot for Aztec KPI. And you'll be able to just walk in. There's a nominal fee that you'll pay for admission. And then it's 30,000 square foot of gymnastics center. And we're excited. Hopefully we can get some a big crowd out there to celebrate Mackenzie Steinbrecher's last home meet of the year, of her career, in fact. So it'll be senior night. And then again, we'll at 5:30, we'll turn on the music and we'll have a rocking good time out there. Hopefully, like I said, we can get everyone out there to witness that.
Coach, always appreciate the time. Good luck versus O'Gorman on Monday to you and the girls in competition. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Bryce. Appreciate you.
That's Coach Justin Olson, Yankton Gazelles Gymnastics. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
At Triple Time Rudy's, you get convenient access to quality fuel products. Plus, you'll also find quality South Dakota products like Dimmock cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. With a local-friendly feel and unique product offering, Triple Time Rudy's is your local convenience store that supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all of your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, pull into Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
Buying or selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you may make in your lifetime. I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and I'm ready to help guide you with professional advice from before the listing until after the close. Not only will you get real estate knowledge, but also we provide moving boxes and an enclosed courtesy trailer to help make the move just a little easier. Call me today at 664-5555.
This winter, sip on a delicious hot cocoa and lose yourself in the grace of a fresh falling snow before you smash that hot mug on the driveway and join First Dakota to bank some noise for winter sports. Stomp for block shots, holler for match ceiling takedowns, and go berserk for a perfect dismount. Let's give the home team all we've got. Bank some noise with us at First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakota.com, member FDIC.
You feel awful. Stuffy nose, then runny nose, the sniffles too. You don't know what to take to make yourself feel better. This is Michael with Yankton Rexall. When you feel under the weather, you want relief, but there are a lot of over-the-counter choices. Some may even interfere with daily medications you're taking. At Yankton Rexall, our staff is here to help you make the best choice for your health. Yankton Rexall, your hometown pharmacy since 1923, located in the Meridian District.
Did you know you can schedule your appointments online at Yankton Medical Clinic? That's right. Visit the self-scheduling page at yanktonmedicalclinic.com and schedule an appointment with several of the physicians, including family medicine, internal medicine, and pediatrics. Or schedule convenient care when it's convenient for you. You can schedule an office visit, well check or medication check, telehealth, sports physicals, and more. With online self-scheduling, Yankton Medical Clinic really does provide so much care so close to home.
There are a lot of benefits for your small business when you have a relationship with your locally owned and operated The UPS Store. I'm Doug Frederick, manager of the UPS Store of Yankton. Not only do we provide excellent customer service, but we also provide the necessary tools to help your small business thrive. We can help you with everything ing, printing, packing, copying, faxing, freighting, any ing your small business needs, even shredding, notarizing, mailboxing. Every ing for your small business, and of course, shipping. The UPS Store of Yankton, across from Walmart.
Have aches and pains taken you out of your game? Then give First Chiropractic Centers a call. We've been helping people get back into their game for over 40 years. Whether your game is sports related, like ice skating, snowmobiling, or simply shoveling snow, household chores, exercising, or daily activities, if your pain is preventing you from enjoying or participating in your chosen activity, we can help. Call First Chiropractic Centers today or visit us at firstchiropracticcenter.com. Whole health with hands-on healing.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Let's turn our attention to Yankton Gazelles basketball. Varsity basketball for girls, they won their first game last night at Sioux Falls Roosevelt, 56-50 in double, not regular, just double overtime, getting their first victory on the season in dramatic fashion. That is coming off the heels of a really nice performance at home versus Sioux Falls Jefferson on Tuesday. They did ultimately lose the Tuesday Jefferson matchup by 20. But if you look at all the game flow kind of statistics and how this thing's folded out, or just talk to anybody that was there, they will tell you that the Gazelles played very, very good basketball for the first three quarters. And then eventually, Jefferson just kind of pulled away. But there's been sure steady signs of drastic improvement for the Gazelles. They obviously will be the first ones to tell you they kind of came up flat to begin the season. But Gazelles, every game, I'm just noticing new things where I'm just like, wow, this team is really gelling and they're fun to watch. And I'm so happy for them getting their victory last night at Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Hopefully a sign of good things to come. But of course, let's just jump right into talking to Coach Trey Creer. But first, I want to mention the sub-varsity score I received from Yankton last night for the Gazelles. Sioux Falls Roosevelt squeaked by the junior varsity girls 41-40. Kayla Llewellyn, 13 points. Eden Wolfgram with 10. Carly Chop had 5 rebounds. That was Yankton Gazelles sub-varsity action last night. But I talked to Coach Trey Creer this morning on the Pizza Ranch phone line, and here is that conversation. All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Let's turn our attention to Yankton Gazelles basketball. Join us on the Pizza Ranch phone line, Coach Trey Creer. Coach, congratulations. Yankton Gazelles get their first victory of the season last night at Sioux Falls Roosevelt, doing it in dramatic fashion, double overtime victory. Has your heart slowed down yet?
Yes, I got a chance to get some sleep. Going to get some breakfast here with some pancakes and eggs with the family, and start thinking about how we can keep moving forward with this.
Yeah, and it wasn't just this Roosevelt game, right? It was also Sioux Falls Jefferson. Yes, the Gazelles lost that game, but just looking at all the stats and kind of how that game kind of folded out, a really good performance from the Gazelles, at least in the first three quarters versus Jefferson as well, right?
Yeah, the 20 points margin that game ended up really wasn't very indicative of how the game actually went. Like, it was a 6-point game towards the end of the third quarter, and maybe even back further, the start of the game went 11-0 Jefferson, and our kids maintained composure during that little stretch of the first quarter and fought our way back to a 17-17 tie. So, the ability to stay even keel and continue to grind out the things that we know we need to do to be able to be successful is a quality that our kids are going to need and is going to be something that helps us to keep moving in the right direction. So had some kids throw some big numbers up on the board in the last couple of games, which, for a team that has struggled to score points over the course of the start of the season here, it's good to see some kids start to figure out their opportunities and knock down some shots.
Claire Tereshinsky being one of them. I'm getting the stats in front of me as we're talking about this, but I know she had 25. When you talk about her night a little bit.
Yeah, Claire struggled to start the year and product of other teams knowing that they needed to guard her, maybe not being able to knock down the shots when she does have opportunities. Just wasn't able to do what we know Claire is able to do. And to her credit, she stayed with it. She has continued to develop as a point guard, continued to develop as a leader on the floor for us, and find her teammates and find opportunities for her teammates as well. And now we're starting to see that, along with her being able to knock down some shots. And maybe most impressive about how she's done the things that she's done over the last week and a half is she's not relying on the 3-point shot. She's found ways to get into the lane. She's found ways to get to the basket. She's got a really good little pull-up jump shot that she's utilized. She's actually taken more 2-point field goals than she has 3-point field goals, which is going to allow her to be able to continue and be consistent with her scoring that way. So very happy for the things that she's done. More impressed and happy with the way that she's been able to lead our team over the course of the first 9 games.
Bailey LaCroix, 13 points, 5 boards. Macy Drotzman, 13.7 boards. Koletsky added some big boards as well. I know I just kind of named 3 players for you, Coach, but also just kind of basically just talk a little bit more about your entire team and just kind of how they performed well. This is the most complete performance they've had all season.
Yeah, Macy has been just steady for us and consistent for the entire part of the start of the season here. She's been aggressive in the paint. We found her and done a better job of finding her more often, been extremely efficient with her shot selection and been able to be right around that 8, 9, 10, 12 point range for us. But maybe more valuable to us is the number of rebounds she's went and found for us. We have a goal typically of being right around 24 plus, 25 plus rebounds a game as a team. And Macy consistently has about half of those. Cameron right there behind her as well. So the consistency that Macy has shown has been awesome, and we need to keep trying to build on that as well. Bailey started the year really hot for us, knocking down perimeter jump shots. She cooled off a little bit there in the middle, but again, stayed resolved, stayed consistent, continued to look for her shots. Defensively, she's been a very valuable piece to us. She adds a little bit of length to our guards. She's a really smart basketball player. She can anticipate things and get herself in position defensively. Last night, Spicer ends up with 33 points, but Bailey did a good job of really trying to kind of track her and chase her over screens and make things difficult for her. You mentioned Cameron Koletsky. Cameron's a kid who kind of is a linchpin for us in terms of if we can really turn the corner, because she has ability and can be an opportunity to score for us with her length, can get to the basket a little bit. And on the rebounding side, like I said, she's got long arms, she's got long legs, and she can kind of go gadget arm after some of those rebounds for us as well. The only other one, that in our starting group that we haven't mentioned is Peyton Mosier. And I think when Moj was out with a shoulder injury, you really saw how she impacts our group just from an energy standpoint. She comes back in, takes 2 charges for us against Jefferson, which big energy plays for us, big momentum builders for our group. She's knocked down some big jump shots for us on the perimeter that, again, just provide that energy for our team, and really happy with the way that she's approached her role and been a part of us trying to find our way here to our first win last night and hopefully building on that for more things to come.
Coach, as is the case for just about any close game at the end, free throws came into play. Gazelles yesterday, 18 of 24 from the line, so very, very consistent. And how big of a part did that play?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, for a team that's shooting under 50% from the foul line on the season, for us to be able to capitalize on those opportunities, we were in the bonus the start of the second quarter, and so we really found ways to get ourselves to the line in the first half and played through the physicality of the game. The officials let the game be a physical game, and we were able to knock them down 75% from the free throw line. I mean, that's the difference in the ball game right there for us. And we had some opportunities where at the end of the game to either seal the win in regulation or overtime, or to take the win in regulation or the first overtime. And we weren't able to capitalize on those. But then the second overtime, Mosier steps up and knocks down 2 big free throws. Claire knocks down 2 big free throws to put it to 6 points. You talk about, and you hear coaches talk about having that game experience on how to close out a game is something that's really hard to simulate in practice. And we were fortunate enough last night to get 3 different opportunities to practice that end game situation and scenario. So the lessons that we will learn and the experience that we will take from the double overtime game last night with Roosevelt hopefully is something that will pay dividends for us down the road.
Well, Coach, congratulations again. You have Brandon Valley Thursday, and then you're finishing the weekend at home versus Douglas, and then Aberdeen Central early next week on Tuesday. And the schedule is just going to keep getting busier and busier now that we're starting to reach our makeup dates, right, eventually. So we'll see how that all goes. But from us to you and the team, congratulations. First victory of the season. Very exciting. And as always, thanks for joining us here on the Coach's Corner.
You bet. Thanks, Bryce.
Let's go straight here. Yankton Gazelles basketball. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on KYNT.
Old Man Winter is here, and you don't want your car left out in the cold because of a broken garage door. Routine service of your doors and openers could prevent some future problems, but unpredictable problems could put your door out of commission. When unforeseen problems arise, the professionals at Upper Midwest Garage Door are prepared to get your door going again. Call today for routine service or when a problem arises. Find more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com, your authorized Clopay dealer.
Hey, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Thanks to Coach Trey Career joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Let's turn our attention to Yankton Bucks basketball, hosting Sioux Falls Roosevelt yesterday at Yankton High School. In the freshman B game, Yankton won 59-40. Everett Dixon had 13, Carter Boomsma with 9, Tate Bestie with 9. In the freshman A game, Sioux Falls Roosevelt won that one 54-47. Gavin Johnson had 11 points for Yankton. Beck Reichen with 10. In the sophomore game, Yankton 43, Sioux Falls Roosevelt 39. Carson Ness tallied 12 points. Bryce Crawl with 8. Matthew Sheldon with 7. And then up in the JV, Sioux Falls Roosevelt 52, Yankton 47. Tucker Gilmore had 15 points. Matthew Sheldon with 15. Landon Potts also contributed 10 in that matchup. And then, of course, we turn our attention to the varsity matchup, and it was Yankton victorious 58-47 last night. Excellent game for the Bucks. Came out hot. Third quarter, Sioux Falls Roosevelt really woke up and made it a game, and then Yankton eventually able to put it away. Stats in the game: lead scorers, Drew Reichen with 17. He was able to hit 5 3-pointers last night. Rugby Reichen with 12 points. Cody Oswald with 8. Landon Potts with 8. Cooper Grotenheis with 2. Michael Moores with 12. So really even scoring throughout. Of course, Mac Reichen was out last night. Hopefully they're able to get him to return here in the near future. All right, we're going to turn our attention over to the post-game coach interview that I had with Coach Chris Haynes last night. Here is that conversation. Coach Haynes, congratulations on the big victory. Sioux Falls Roosevelt has been a team that's just battled with Yankton for years now. Nice to get a victory here, especially out on your home court.
Yeah, proud of our guys. You know, we told them Tuesday night up in Jefferson, shorthanded without Rugby tonight, shorthanded without Mac. Told them Tuesday night we're proud of them, the way they competed. You know, and the effort that they had came up on the short end, but we told them, you play like that, you know, the scoreboard will take care of itself more times than not. And so it was nice to be on the winning side of it tonight.
Rugby, obviously, you can still tell it's not 100%, but he's still battling through. How do you talk about his performance tonight a little bit?
Yeah, I think more is now just his conditioning. You know, he just got tired out there. And without Mac, it's hard to get him breathers, hard to get, you know, him and Drew played the entire game except for right at the end. But you know, it's just hard to take those guys off the floor. They're competitors, and they did a nice job. And yeah, obviously Rugby, not only did he score in double figures, but taking care of the handling the basketball against that pressure the whole time is extremely difficult. And you know, then finding guys open. You know, not only is he making, you know, like I said, scoring double digits, but then he's finding guys and just creating offense for his teammates too.
Yeah, we talked about Cody Oswald the last few games about how he was getting into the scoring column more and more, but tonight is what I meant when I was really talking about what he does on the floor to help. Yeah. A lot of big boards and really important ones.
Yeah, Cody's been great all year for us. And even last year he played really good for us, solid for us. And that's what he does. I mean, he's 6'3", and he's guarding every night. He's guarding 6'5" to 6'8", and Tuesday it'll be 7'1" guys and battling on the boards, you know. But he's a smart kid. He's a smart player. He works extremely hard, and you know, you put all those things together, and you can overcome, you know, being a couple inches shorter.
And then Drew Reichen, another great shooting night for him, and Landon Potts. Just really a great shooting night for the Bucks in general.
Yeah, obviously Drew shot again, amazing again, and that's huge for us. And nice to see Landon come off the bench and score for us and knock down some shots. We're gonna need that. You know, like we said, him and Isaiah are capable of coming off the bench and doing that. You know, Cooper with that, you know, coming in the starting lineup, he did what he does for us as far as playing defense and scrapping, and ended up getting a bucket, almost had a chance for a couple baskets. But just playing good defense, rebounding, taking care of the basketball. So that's what we need from those guys.
I'll talk about the scores on my show tomorrow as this is going to be playing. Obviously, we're using it for the show, but so not putting you on the spot. But some great sub-varsity action here today as well.
Yeah, those were great games, and really, really happy with how our younger levels are coming along. I don't even know what their records are. It doesn't even matter, but we're seeing a lot of growth at all levels, which is the number one thing that we want to see there. Obviously, just with the 2 juniors, our sophomores are getting thrown in the mix, at the JV. And so hopefully with 8 seniors, we're going to have some of those guys that are going to have to step up and play varsity next year. So they're getting really valuable minutes at the JV level. And, it sounds like Coach Schmitz and the freshmen are doing well too.
All right, last question. You know how we roll. Tell me a little bit about Sioux Falls Lincoln. Is Cody Oswald going to bring a stepladder to the court?
Yeah, obviously everything starts with JT Rock inside 7'1", and he's a great player, no doubt. And not only is he a great player and he can score, but like rugby can for us as a point guard, Rock does for them. You have to help so much on him that it opens up their other guys. And they have, the Whitney kid is an all-state caliber point guard. But what they're really doing is they're making shots. And so obviously Rock is creating a lot of attention, and that's creating open looks from other guys. And right now, Sioux Falls Lincoln is shooting the three-pointer at a highest percentage as probably anyone in the state. And so to have a big guy inside and then they're shooting it like that's a deadly combination, which is why they're really tough to guard.
Coach, congratulations. We'll talk Tuesday.
Okay, thanks, Bryce.
That was my post-game coach interview with Coach Chris Haynes last night following the Yankton Bucks victory. They, as you just heard, face Sioux Falls Lincoln at home at Yankton High School on Tuesday. You can catch that action on KYNT and KYNTV with myself. And then also Thursday, hosting Brandon Valley, another big ESD matchup for the Bucks. That will be on Thursday, January 26th, again on KYNT and KYNTV. And then Douglas on Saturday at Yankton High School, and then Tuesday up in Aberdeen. And I'm just going to keep going. So basically every other day for the rest of the season, the Bucks seem to have a matchup, and that is what happens when you have so many games postponed or rescheduled for later in the year. Yeah, there might be some open dates on the calendar, but we're about to have them stacked on top of each other. So the grind is real for the Yankton Bucks basketball team, but congratulations to them. They are now 5-2 on the season. It was a great night at the Summit Activity Center. Great crowd on hand, as there always is. Just glad to be a part of it. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will play YHS Nation. Our very own Braden Butler puts together that kind of show within the show as he catches up with other non-athletic Yankton High School activities. That's all around the corner here on the Coach's Corner.
Bring the crew to Pizza Ranch in Yankton. This is Annie, and we have legendary pizza and chicken just waiting for you on our buffet. Let us know what you're craving, and we'll make it fresh and bring you the first slice. Or let us deliver right to your front door. Your locally owned Yankton Pizza Ranch on Broadway, 665-1222.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
How's it going, everybody? You are listening to YHS Nation here on KYNT. I am Braden Butler. This week's episode of YHS Nation, we're going to be talking to Jill Michelson of the Arikara, the yearbook at Yankton High School, talking about where in the production process they are with putting that together, as well as when the Arikara is scheduled to be ready. Before we get into that interview, though, with Jill Michelson, we need to take a look at the activities and events coming up this weekend for Yankton High School. Only a couple of things on the itinerary, both of them coming today, Saturday, January 21st. There's a varsity debate tournament versus Watertown at Watertown High School. And at 10 a.m. today, the Yankton Bucks boys wrestling team has an invitational at Chamberlain, the River City Rumble, taking place at the Chamberlain Armory. That gets started at 10 a.m. That does it for the activities this weekend around Yankton High School. Coming after the break, we'll go to our interview. You're listening to YHS Nation on KYNT.
With a variety of crusts, sauces, and toppings, Pizza Ranch has legendary pizzas that will tempt every one of your taste buds. This is Annie at Yankton Pizza Ranch. From single toppings and create your own to ranch specialties, we invite you to come taste them all on the buffet or delivered to your door. Your locally owned Yankton Pizza Ranch on Broadway, 665-1222.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
Do you have a pest problem? Bed bugs, bats in the attic, termite damage, earwigs? Olson's Pest Technicians can tackle any of your pest problems. Family owned and operated with over 80 years of pest experience in South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa. Proven pest methods include Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatments for bed bugs. Even the toughest pest infestations don't stand a chance. Olson's Pest Technicians, putting pests to rest since 1966. Call 800-KIL-BUGS.
Welcome back in here on YHS Nation. I am Braden Butler. Joining me right now is Jill Michelson from Yankton High School, faculty advisor for the Arikara, the student yearbook. Jill, first of all, before we get into anything, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
No, it's great to have you on. It's great to get a chance to talk about the yearbook and the calendar turning over to 2023, getting into the second semester. Things are kind of starting to settle in now in this second semester. Figured it's a great time to check in on the yearbook, see when the process started and how far along it is. So if we could just start right there.
Sure. We started probably mid-August with the idea. I usually meet just with my editor. My editor this year is Mia Donner. She's a junior at Yankton. When we start, we bounce ideas around. We think about the year 2023. What do we think we can build around? What do we think might be the new things for the year, or what might happen? So you're kind of looking into a little bit of a crystal ball there and emphasize 2023 and what could potentially occur. So we met in August and she came up with a wonderful idea. Our theme for the year is defying the odds. And we worked with that because of the number 23. And we think we're going to accomplish some pretty great things this year. So we thought that would be a really good theme to build from. And we started from there. We meet twice a week as a staff. Me and I meet an additional night a week. And we're sitting pretty good right now. Fall sports and fall activities kind of knock us out a little bit because there are so many. So we're still cleaning that up and making sure all of that is done. But we're already working on gymnastics. We're working on wrestling, girls basketball. We haven't had a lot of occasions to take boys basketball photos right now because they've had such limited home games. So we'll get that going. And we're sitting in a nice spot right now. We do have to finish up some things, but that's every single year.
Now, you mentioned Mia, your editor, and a greater staff as well. Could you mention how many students are on that staff? And then feel free to shout out any of those students as well.
Oh, sure. We have about 10 people on staff. So we have one senior, Aiden Brennan. So we have Mia, we have Natasha Duke, we have Amy Birch, we have Kaylee Gaydon, we have Rain Lane, we also have Rose Lane, we have Jules, we have Elise Harsberger, we have Kaya Sherman. Those are the people we have on staff.
Sorry to kind of just put you on the spot there, but it was nice to kind of go around and hear everybody who's involved in this. And I mean, it's impressive being able to name all 10 of them off the top of your head.
I just kind of went around the table and, okay, this is where this person usually sits. So they do a great job. We do this entirely outside the school day. So about 2 hours on a Wednesday afternoon, 2 hours on Thursday. And then they have to show up to all the concerts, the plays, activities, everything to try and capture those moments. So they do an incredible job. It's a great group of kids.
You know, like you said, it's a big commitment. It's hard work, a couple hours, a couple different nights each week and go into every activity. More than deserving a shout out. They put in a lot of work, and I think that might get overlooked sometimes.
It does. It's behind the scenes work, but it's all worth it when you see your work published. Those kids will have a record of everything that they did and what they were able to create. So, yeah, it's kind of quiet behind the scenes, but well worth it in the end.
And with that, being able to see their work being published, when is the yearbook usually published, or when is it expected to be published for this year?
We usually wrap things up either mid-June or end of June because we have so many late spring activities. So we wrap up usually mid-June, and then the books usually arrive over Riverboat Days weekend is when they are printed and published.
Well, thank you for everything, Jill. I appreciate you taking time out of your day on your day off, as we're recording this on Monday where there's no school in the Yankton School District, for just talking to me about the Yankton yearbook, the Auricura, and just giving an idea of how much goes into that every year.
Absolutely no problem. It's wonderful. Thank you for reaching out to me. Glad to talk about it.
All right. Thank you once again for Jill Michelson. I am Braden Butler. Jill, you have a great day for the rest of your day today.
Thank you. You as well.
And you're listening to YHS Nation here on KYNT.
Purchasing a home in a competitive market can be frustrating. Having to make quick decisions is stressful. That's why it's important to be guided by an experienced real estate professional. I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and as an agent with more than 15 years of experience, I'll guide you through the home buying process and give you information necessary to make the right decisions in your home search. Call me today at 664-5555.
Vision Care Associates provides the latest in technology, Optimap laser imaging. Optimap allows for a great exam of your eyes without dilating drops. Our doctors are able to show you what the actual inside of your eye looks like during your exam. Having images of your eyes each year means that problems are caught early, and no dilating drops is a big benefit as well.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Welcome back here on YHS Nation. Thank you again to Jill Michelson for taking the time to talk to me about the Auricura, the yearbook at Yankton High School. Before we let the curtain drop on today's episode, let's look ahead now to the schedule for next week around Yankton High School. Starting on Monday, January 23rd, gymnastics has a varsity duel against O'Gorman at River City Gymnastics and Cheer here in Yankton, on the backside of the mall in the old J.C. Penney building. On Tuesday, January 24th, Yankton Bucks varsity basketball as the boys will host Sioux Falls Lincoln in the Yankton High School gym. This game is rescheduled from December 16th. That begins at 7 p.m. Coverage on KYNT and KYN-TV beginning at 6:30 p.m. Jumping ahead now to Thursday, January 26th. Gazelles Gymnastics has a varsity duel versus Hendricks Public at the Barn starting at 6:30 p.m. And the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles basketball squads will be in action. The Gazelles will be on the road taking on Brandon Valley at Brandon Valley High School at 7 p.m. The boys will be at home against Brandon Valley at Yankton High School, also tip-off at 7 p.m. Coverage for the Bucks game will be on KYNT and KYN-TV beginning at 6:30. Next Friday, January 27th, Debate has a varsity invitational at Yankton High School. That one will get started at 12 p.m. noon. That is the Lewis and Clark invite. That's going to do it for this week's episode of YHS Nation. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, stay safe, be good people. We're out here on KYNT.
Do you really think it's a good idea to buy insurance off the internet? After all, it is insurance. It's not a commodity like a toaster. It's a contract to protect what you value most: your home, your car, your business, your health, and even your life. You need a professional, in-person agent to make sure you have the right coverage to fit your family's needs. Schedule an appointment with us today. Missouri River Associates, 665-6885.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
Old Man Winter is here, and you don't want your car left out in the cold because of a broken garage door. Routine service of your doors and openers could prevent some future problems, but unpredictable problems could put your door out of commission. When unforeseen problems arise, the professionals at Upper Midwest Garage Door are prepared to get your door going again. Call today for routine service or when a problem arises. Find more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com, your authorized Clopay dealer.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Thanks to Braden Butler for our YHS Nation show within the show. as he always catches up with Yankton High School activities, a little bit more depth from the non-athletic standpoint, and always appreciate the work that he does as well. And if I don't shout out to Mrs. Michelson myself, hello, Mrs. Michelson from the KYNT studio. Always appreciate her taking the time. Hard work goes into the yearbook, as we just heard, and also extra shout out to all those kids that are working on it. They really do an excellent job. It is an excellent publication every year when they release it. I always enjoy flipping through it, and every time I start, I'm always like, I can't believe that was not that long ago. It seems like time flies sometimes, but that is the nature of it, especially this season or this year. Again, you know you're a sports person when you keep referring to everything as a season. And I'm not even talking the winter season. I'm talking just basketball and gymnastics and wrestling. But that's just how my mind works. Special thanks to Pizza Ranch for providing delicious pizza to the studio today, and to all of our coaches for taking the time to join us, and to all of our sponsors making this show possible. This has been the Coach's Corner here on KYNT and KYNT-TV. Have an excellent rest of your weekend.
KYNT, Yankton, FM 102.1 and AM 1450.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. 5 Memphis police officers were fired Friday amid the ongoing investigation into the death of 29-year-old Tyree Nichols earlier this month. Family attorney Ben Crump tells ABC News